Hello everyone, welcome to Coding Decoded. And as promised, let's shoot for solving weekly contest 276. The first question in the list is divide a string into groups of size k. And let's try and understand the question. The question says we are given an input string s and we need to partition this input string into groups of size k. There are few rules that are specified. As per the rules, in case there are not enough characters to be filled in any particular group, we have to replace it with x. We have to fill it using the fill variable, the character that is specified over here. Let's try and understand it by a few examples. The first one is a b c d d e f g h I, and the size of each group is specified as 3. The fill variable is specified as x. So the first group will correspond to ABC, the second group will correspond to DEF, and the third one will correspond to GHI. And this is what we need to return in the answer. Similarly, let's try and understand the second example. Here the input string is specified as ABC, DEF, GHI followed by J. And let's try forming the groups. The first one is ABC, the second one is DEF, the third one is GHI. And as you can see, J is left in the end. What do we need to do in such case? We have to replace and fill the vacancy using the fill variable that is specified over here. That makes it the last group as JXX. And this is what we need to return. Let's quickly look at the presentation that I have created for this, and let's conclude. It's a very simple question and I totally feel the same. Divide a string into groups of size lead code 2138, and let's take the same example that was specified in the question. In the second case, we have the input string as ABC, DEF, GHI followed by J. The group size is specified as 3 and the fill variable is specified as x. So the first and the foremost thing that you are going to do is to identify the number of groups that will be formed. So for that purpose, what you will do, you will calculate the length of the input string. The length of the input string is specified here as 10. You will check if it is absolutely divisible by group size. In case it is absolutely divisible, then the number of groups that will be formed will be simple. You divide the length by the group size, which in this case turns out to be 3. However, it is not absolutely divisible, as you can see, because 10 modulus 3 doesn't give you 0, it gives you 1. So what do we need to do? You'll need to add an extra 1 for those cases. So the total number of groups that will be formed would be 4. Now we are sure of the number of groups that are going to be formed. Next, what you're going to do, you'll start the iteration and you'll start making the first group, and you'll take a variable. Let's create a substring variable. Let's name it substring, and let's start the iteration. We have I pointing to here, and the first character is A. So A gets added, B gets added, and C gets added. As soon as the group size reaches the size of the target variable that is specified here, which is 3, what you will do, you will add it to your answer result. So ABC gets added. Next, what you're going to do, you're going to reset the string, the substring. So let's reset the substring and let's start the iteration again. We have D, E, F now. So D gets added, E gets added, and F gets added. So we are done till here. And as soon as the size becomes equal to K, what you will do, you'll add it to your result. So DEF gets added to the result. Let's proceed ahead. After this, what you're going to do, you're going to reset the substring and you're going to create the new substring. That would be GHI. So G gets added, H gets added, and I gets added. So you're doing it one by one. And as soon as you see that the size has become equal to K, you'll add it to your result. So GHI gets added. And the last one is the most interesting case. We have a single variable here, J. So you create a new substring starting J and add J to it. And what do you see? You see that its size is not equal to the value of K that is specified, and you have exhausted the input string. In all such cases, you need to fill in your fill variable, which in this case turns out to be X, in the remaining positions. So the final substring turns out to be JXX, and you simply add it to your result. I hope I made sense to you. The time complexity of this approach is order of n. Let's quickly conclude by walking through the coding section. In the first place, here I try to identify the number of groups that will be formed, and I named it as group count. It's pretty simple and straightforward. If s.length modulus k turns out to be 0, That means the group count would be equal to s dot length by k. Otherwise, it would be equal to s dot length by k plus 1, because in all such cases there was some remaining modulus value. The next in the iteration, I go and create the answer variable, that is array of strings of the same size as I have calculated here as group count. Next, I create few variables for iterating over the input array and for building my substring. And let's start the iteration. I is less than s dot length, pretty simple and straightforward. J is responsible for building my substring appropriately, while j is less than k, less than the size of the k variable that is specified, and I is less than the s dot length variable. I keep on adding the latest character at the end of the substring. With each iteration, I increment the value of j and then that of I. I run this in a while loop. So right now this case won't be hit because we have not exhausted the input string. And what do I do next? I add the substring to my answer variable. I increment the pointer p and I reset the substring for the next iteration to happen. And I also reset the variable j for appropriately building my next substring. I keep on traversing in the same fashion till the time I have elements in my s dot length. And this is an interesting case where we are checking in case my substring dot length is less than k. I keep on filling in continuously with the fill variable that we have over here. Pretty simple and straightforward. Once I'm done with this, with the iteration, that means I've appropriately built in my answer result. And let's try and submit this up. Accepted. The time complexity of this approach is order of n, and space complexity is constant space. We are not using any extra space for building the answer, apart from building the final result here. So if you want to include this as part of your space complexity, then you can say the number of groups that are going to be formed, or you can say the length of the input string. So that's up to you, as per you and your interviewer converge on a common thought process. This brings me to the end of today's session. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for viewing it. Have a great day ahead and stay tuned for more updates from Coding Decoded. I'll see you tomorrow with another fresh question. But till then, goodbye.